Winter in the Northern Hemisphere has just begun, yet weather anomalies are already showing unprecedented strength and scale. In this edition, we present to your attention the weekly review of disasters that occurred from November 20th to November 26th. Each of these climate events is destroying established perceptions of weather norms. Warm air from the Atlantic quickly reached Europe and even made its way to the Arctic Ocean. This triggered chaos in the atmosphere, storms, anomalous precipitation, and sharp temperature fluctuations. USA and Canada. The Pacific coastline of the USA and Canada was hit by a bomb cyclone. Meteorologists describe this storm as one of the most powerful in the region's history. It exceeded the threshold required to classify it as a bomb cyclone by 2 times. On the night of November 20th, wind gusts on Vancouver Island, Canada, reached 180 kilometers per hour, equivalent to a Category 2 tropical hurricane. As a result, around 140,000 people in British Columbia were left without electricity. In Washington State, USA, winds with gusts up to 112 kilometers per hour knocked down numerous trees, causing damage to cars and building roofs, and resulting in the deaths of at least 2 people. Around 700,000 homes and businesses were left without electricity. The cyclone also generated powerful sea waves, with heights reaching 10 meters. The situation was further complicated by the simultaneous impact of an atmospheric river. When a bomb cyclone collides with an atmospheric river, these phenomena amplify each other several times over. A California meteorologist compared the result of such an interaction of forces to a fire hose that got out of control. Because the weather becomes even more unpredictable and dangerous. The atmospheric river brought an extreme amount of rain and snow to the states of California and Oregon. Due to the snowstorm, the main highway on the west coast of the USA was partially closed. In Northern California, nearly 40% of the annual rainfall total fell over the course of a few days, with some areas receiving more than 380 millimeters of rain. This powerful cyclone arrived at the beginning of the season, when the soil was still dry and able to absorb moisture. This significantly reduced the likelihood of catastrophic flooding. United Kingdom. On November 23rd, Storm Bert struck the United Kingdom. It became one of the most destructive storms in recent years. The country was hit by heavy rain and winds with speeds reaching 132 kilometers per hour. In Worcestershire, the river breached a protective wall and flooded the market town. The water reached depths of up to 4 meters. Dozens of shops and businesses were affected, and the infrastructure suffered significant damage. In Northampton, England, the overflowing river caused the 3rd flood of the year at a recreational park. Around 1,000 people had to be evacuated urgently. At London's Heathrow Airport, approximately 1,500 flights were cancelled or delayed. Rail services were also disrupted. A wave of power outages occurred in England and Scotland. The storm in the United Kingdom claimed the lives of at least 5 people. Germany and Switzerland. Due to low temperatures and heavy snowfall, Germany and Switzerland were affected. In Constance, Germany, 15 centimeters of snow fell. This is more than what usually falls throughout November over the past 50 years. Record precipitation was also recorded in the Swiss cities of Zurich and Basel. In the city of Lucerne, 42 centimeters of snow fell, breaking the monthly record set 100 years ago. However, just 2 days later, the snow melted. In the German city of Karlsruhe, a sudden shift occurred from a freezing -4 degrees Celsius to a May-like +19 degrees Celsius. In the city of Baden-Baden, the temperature reached a record plus 22.3 degrees Celsius, making it the warmest November day since meteorological observations began. At night, the temperature did not drop below plus 17.5 degrees Celsius, which is higher than the average temperatures in July. Nighttime records were also broken at more than 30 stations across Germany. France. From November 21st to 22nd, Storm Caetano passed through France from west to east, causing an early and unexpectedly harsh start to winter. The temperature dropped to January level values. Heavy snowfall covered the entire country. In the commune of Montmorency-Beaufort, 31 centimeters of snow was recorded. Paris had not experienced such intense snowfall in 56 years. The Eiffel Tower was closed to visitors due to the severe weather conditions. The storm also brought strong winds to the Atlantic coast of France, with speeds reaching over 160 kilometers per hour. More than 250,000 homes were left without electricity. The regions of Normandy and the Loire Valley were hit the hardest. Around 5,000 vehicles were blocked on highways. Slippery roads caused a major traffic accident near Paris, resulting in 36 people being injured. The ferry operator was forced to cancel crossings in the English Channel due to strong winds. Railway services were paralyzed. Hundreds of passengers spent 9 hours in 2 trains due to a power outage.
Depuis à peu près 3 heures, mais c'est fou.
Ireland. In Ireland, Storm Bert caused damage estimated in the millions of euros. The storm left over 60,000 homes and businesses without electricity. More than 100 roads were flooded. In County Kerry, the River Feel burst its banks, setting a new historical record. This forced the evacuation of more than 100 people. Turkey. On November 23rd, a powerful snowstorm hit Turkey. Heavy snowstorms led to the cancellation of school classes in 32 provinces and the evacuation of more than 2,000 people. The temperature suddenly dropped by 15 to 18 degrees, and snow fell. In the mountainous areas, the snow cover reached 50 centimeters. Heavy snowfall completely paralyzed traffic on the country's main highways and roads. Drivers had to wait for hours for rescue services to assist. The storm claimed the lives of 2 people, and many were on the brink of death due to the unexpectedly heavy snowfall. 4 hunters were rescued 2 days later after being trapped in the snow. An elderly couple was found freezing next to a tree. They had lost their way home in the heavy snowstorm. By taking shelter near Lambs, they managed to survive. The day before, powerful rains and hurricane-force winds had struck Turkey. In the city of Ortica, Anatolia province, nearly 150 millimeters of rain fell in 24 hours. In some areas of Antalya province, tornadoes destroyed greenhouses and caused damage to agricultural produce. In Istanbul, the wind uprooted trees, damaged building roofs, blocking streets and causing disruptions in transportation. Some incoming flights to Istanbul airport were unable to land due to strong crosswinds. After several failed attempts, they were diverted to other airports. Iceland. On November 20th, a new eruption occurred on the Reykjanes Peninsula in the Sunnux crater series. The crack from which the magma erupted was 3 kilometers long. The lava moved more slowly than during the previous eruption, but covered a much larger area. Lava flows engulfed the parking lot and service buildings of the popular tourist resort Blue Lagoon. The main threat was to the pipeline system and energy infrastructure in the Svartsengi area. The lava reached the defensive embankments, which had been built to protect key infrastructure, and began to spill over them. Emergency services urgently reinforced the barriers to 4 meters, and deepened the pipes. 12 powerful water cannons were installed at the tops of the embankments to cool the lava and slow its advance. This is the 6th eruption in 2024 and the 10th since the volcano's awakening in March 2021 after 800 years of dormancy. Specialists were concerned by the suddenness of the eruption, as it was not preceded by an increase in seismic activity, as had been the case in previous eruptions. Doesn't it alarm you what you've seen in this issue? Germany recorded the warmest November day since meteorological observations began. One of the most powerful storms in history hit the USA and Canada. Switzerland experienced record snowfall in the past 100 years. All the other events were also record-breaking and abnormal. Natural phenomena that once followed familiar seasonal rhythms have lost their stability. The atmosphere is becoming increasingly chaotic and unpredictable. This raises a natural question. What is behind these alarming processes, and why is nature displaying such extremes? Research by independent scientists conducted over many years has shed light on an unexpected cause of climate chaos. The source of this problem lies in the ocean and a mysterious factor X, which had long remained overlooked by modern climate models. At the COP16 conference, a documentary film was presented highlighting this research, along with an innovative approach that could restore the stability of the climate system.
Although the situation is serious, we have reasons to be optimistic. With the right approach and international cooperation, we can overcome these challenges. These are the key steps to saving the planet. If we implement them, we will start seeing results within 2 or 3 years. However, it's important to understand that climate change keeps accelerating, and this process will not stop immediately. In the first year, the situation may fluctuate slightly, but after about 8 to 14 months, everything should stabilize. And in 5 to 8 years, we will see how water will clean up and the ocean will resume performing its function of cooling the planet. Floods, droughts, anomalous winds, and temperature fluctuations will cease. The climate will become much milder and more predictable. Ultimately, with the introduction of atmospheric water generators, we will gain the time that we now need so desperately to address the causes of the planet's heating.
International cooperation will play a crucial role. To solve this global problem, we need to unite the efforts of scientists, policymakers, businesses, and the public. By combining our efforts and resources, we will be able to develop and implement comprehensive solutions. Instead of working separately and trying to undermine one another, we must act together because this is a global problem. One of our main problems we have today is that we tend to act more for profit than for the benefit of humanity. We must do everything we can to change this mindset for the sake of the well-being of all humankind.
We can really change the situation. We already have the technology. All we need is the will to act and the global cooperation.
The future is in our hands. Let's protect the ocean together and create a sustainable future for our children.